Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I've got some exciting stuff to review today that I found. This is something that is through Amazon.de, which this time, it's going to another side of the world. This is a Germany release. So in this case, you're going to want to have a Amazon Germany account. I told you before I'd give you a little bit of information and about how to set up multiple Amazon accounts. That way, as you're buying things from different regions and different areas, it's easy to do and easy to have it all done without having to worry about it from some random company or another company. So the biggest case in this case of what you're going to want to do is when you go to Amazon.de, you're specifically going to want to just set up your account just like you have in the US. A lot of the times when you go in there first to log in, you can actually tag it to your US Amazon account and it'll import most of your information like your address, zip codes. If you have credit cards saved, sometimes it'll port all that stuff over. So a lot of the times that'll make it really easy. But people ask when they go to those websites, obviously it's in German, so reading it is not always the easiest. I'm going to put a little link right here and show you a little picture. On the bottom of every single Amazon website, there is a little basically globe, and I'm going to put it right here in this picture. It's over here to the left all the way at the bottom here. It's a little globe. When you click on that globe, it'll bring up the languages that that website will translate. Basically, so for Germany, it would translate it if you want it to be English. I'm going to put a picture after you click that little globe. The next thing it's going to show here is actually you translating it to English. If you click on the English, which is what is checkmarked there. And then for the most part, the rest of the website will actually be in English. That way it's easy for you to search by it. You'll see as I'm going through, I'll post some other pictures about it as well, but you can post and search inside those Amazon websites in English and it'll still find it, even if you haven't changed the language filter yet. That's why, and I'm not sponsored by Amazon or anything like that. I'd love to be, but I'm not at the moment. So that's why when I talk about it specifically being Amazon, it's not that I have to talk about Amazon. It's just that that's what I found is the easiest way to do this. And I'm trying to make this the simplest, other than doing some of the ways that I did originally, buying from random websites and the issues I had with those. I'm trying to make it simple for you guys from the things I've learned over time to make it easy. Jumping ahead, as you probably guessed by the title of the video, we are going to be reviewing Hogan's Heroes. Now I know you're saying, wow, I didn't even know Hogan's Heroes was released remastered. This is another one of those rare finds that I found that there wasn't much information about. It took me a long time to figure out if it would or wouldn't work. And here's the exciting thing. This is another release that was remastered on Blu-ray, that was released in another country, that guess what? It takes no special Blu-ray player at all. I could not find information on this. It took me a long time to get anything. So I just ended up buying it, one of those blind buys. When it was originally released, this set itself cost me $107 plus some shipping, so I think it was like $112 or something like that. It's now on sale, and I'll put a little link here kind of showing you. It changes all the time, obviously, on Amazon, but it's a lot less than what I ever paid for it originally. This set was one of those great things that once I got it, tried it out, it plays in any Blu-ray player. Don't have to have any special software, don't have to have any special Blu-ray player. You pop it in your Blu-ray player, you're good to go. And that's why this is another really exciting set. Now, I am going to share some sets later on that you're going to need a region-free Blu-ray player for, but I'm trying to give you guys some ideas of some of the things that I found over time that are exciting, that if you don't want to spend the money on buying a special region-free Blu-ray player that can play them from all over, there are a lot of releases out there that you might not know about or might think, well, obviously it's got a German title on here, I'm not going to be able to play it, or it's not going to play in English. It does. It plays beautifully well. I'll show you some of that as we go along as well, some of the screenshots and things like that. But this set is what we're going to be reviewing today. So once you get your Amazon account open through like Amazon.de, for example, so it's Amazon.de, which is the German Amazon website. Once you've done that, and if you want to change the language to English, you can do that as well. As I showed you there, it's very easy to do. You're good to go. You can search for the show by Hogan's Heroes Blu-ray. It'll pull it up, the complete series. This set is the complete series. And I know it's in German, so a lot of this stuff here doesn't always make 100% sense to some people, but Die Complete Serie, I mean the complete series. It does not, and this is not something you have to worry about, it does not start off playing the language in German. It plays it in English, just with German subtitles, just like we talked about in the last release. Simply all you have to do, and I'll post a picture here again of the remote, just find your subtitles button. After you press play on it, it'll start going into the show, and you'll see at the bottom there it's just got German subtitles. You just click your subtitles and shut them off. Plays in English beautifully. The remastered version of this is 100 times better, and I'm going to post screenshots as we're talking about this set. I'm going to post screenshots along the way showing different shots of the show. Now, the first episode of the first disc, the pilot episode, is in black and white. And I'll post some screenshots of that here so that we can kind of see that. It's in black and white. Still looks amazing, but it is in black and white. That's just the way the first episode of the pilot was done before they decided to go to series for this show. So keep in mind that when that does, that first episode, the whole series is not that way. It's just the first episode. Then from then on, it goes to color, and even the black and white episode's beautiful, but the color is amazing on it. I apologize if a lot of my screenshots aren't best quality. I do the best I can. Sometimes the screenshots don't come out exactly the way I'm taking it with a camera of a TV, which makes it a little bit more difficult, but I'm trying to give you kind of an idea of what you're seeing physically with your own eyes, as opposed to, well, hey, this is something that was taken off of a computer. I'm trying to show you, here's what you're going to see on your TV. It'll give you an idea. The upgrade compared to DVD, if you've seen the DVD versions in America that are available of Hogan's Heroes, the complete series that's on DVD now in America, they're not bad. I'm not going to say they're horrible. They're running at 480. Some of them you can get, it'll upgrade it to like 720 if you have a good Blu-ray player, things like that, 720p, things like that. But it's not anywhere near a 1080p picture that's been remastered. It is absolutely beautiful. Like I said, I'm going to have some screenshots as we're talking here, so you can kind of see these as we're going through this. The set looks great. Diving into here a little bit more into the set here. So when you get your set, mine came with a slipcover on it. It actually has a physical slipcover over the outside of this big Blu-ray case. At first I was a little worried when I got this set because it's in a solid giant Blu-ray case, as opposed to some of the other sets that you usually get. They'll have separate individual Blu-ray cases. This one is one giant Blu-ray case. I'll take it out of the slipcover here so you can see this here. So after you remove the slipcover, just to give you an idea of this here, and it is a giant Blu-ray case. It holds the entire series. At first I was worried thinking, man, everything's gonna be broken inside, or you know how it has like those little like leaflets that move and where it contains all the Blu-rays. I thought, this is gonna be a mess. It's gonna have Blu-ray junk, broken, everything like that in it. There wasn't. I did not have to order a replacement. It came unbroken. There was nothing wrong with it. Every disc was perfect condition, no scratches, none of them were loose in it. Now that's not to say that some shipping error can't happen and your set comes with something loose or broken in it. It's human error, it's gonna happen. But mine came fine, and I would assume most of them do. So the case is very well made. I was very, very happy with that. When you open it, and you're gonna see here, when you open it, you got all your discs lined up in here. Now, I'll show you here in the leaflets. So they're leaflets that basically, they're on hinges. They're pretty sturdy, they're pretty thick, if you can see how thick that is. They're pretty thick. The discs are housed on multi-tier disc holders. So behind these discs, I'll pop one out here to show you. Behind these discs, there is more discs. If this was a DVD set, it'd be a little bit more concerning because you'd have to worry about maybe them getting scratched easier and things like that. But because it's a Blu-ray set, in this case, there's no scratches on any of them. I haven't had any problems with any of them. And they're very easy to get in and out. It's securely held in there. When you put it in, it's got a good snap. I mean, it's in there, it's not moving. So your discs are in here, in holders. All of the entire series is in here, which is surprising as well. I really like buying a complete series. Does it mean you're going to watch it all right away? Maybe not necessarily right away, but it's nice to know you've got it. You can watch it whenever you want. Like I've said before, you can watch it with your family, your wife, whatever. You're not waiting for digital to get it, or it's gone and you can't get another season of it and you're trying to watch it. It's all right here. Watch it when you want, how you want. all the way from beginning to end. Sixth and final season, everything's in here. So it's a very impressive set. I very much like how they did the discs. Most of them have pictures of the shows on them. It tells you in English, and this is a big thing in this set, as opposed to, we talked before about a different set that came with Japanese writing on it from Japan, that Colombo set. Well, this set specifically, fourth season, disc 1 in English. It tells you if it's full frame, it tells you how long that basically disc is itself. The year it was released, that's in color. The only thing that is in German on these discs, that when you're reading it and you're trying to figure out, it lists off the number of the episodes on the sides of each disc, but the actual titles of the episodes, these tiny little titles, are in German. But other than that, like you said, can't see. It's Hogan's Heroes, the fourth season, disc 1. To be honest with you, you couldn't tell if this wasn't released in America if it didn't have those German titles in it. So that's a really nice bonus, especially when you're buying something like this, to know that you can easily see what it is, no problem at all. Again, it is a huge case, snaps together, but it holds them securely. You can hear them kind of moving in there, but they're not loose, they're just on those spindles. Done very well. The set itself, I'll show you some screenshots here of the show, and you'll see that it's very clear, crisp. The colors have a more of a 60s. The show was, and it gives you kind of the years on each disc of what you're looking at. So a lot of these episodes were like 1960s through the 70s on this. So the color looks great, but it is that just slightly off. And I think that was the intention of kind of when they colorized things back then. It gave it that kind of 60s, you know, early TV, early movies look, things like that. And I like it. It's unique to the era. And that's what you'll see in these screenshots that I post here for you to kind of see as we're going along here, that these are made specifically to look a certain way, because that's when the era was. They're not going to try to make it like a modern TV show now, because obviously they're remastering what it was. Incredibly crystal clear. Probably the only and downsides I could say about it are, one, like I said, the front of the case is in German. Discs, like I said, it says Hogan's Heroes right on them, but the actual front of the case does have German writing on it. But again, I'm thankful that I was able to find this, that it exists, and that it is available to buy, and you can have it shipped to the US and own it. Because as I said, these less manufacturers are wanting to continue making physical media for us to own and have. Some people have asked also, which I'm going to address real quickly here, owning something that you're buying on your own, how is it you're able to afford all of that over time? A big thing is I don't do digital services anymore. They say in America an average person spends anywhere between $150 a month all the way up to $450 a month for their digital services. And that might be whether you got Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, all these different digital services. Then you got your DirecTVs and all this. I'm not telling you to get rid of them all. But what I am saying is if it is something you're wanting to do and you say to yourself, I want to be able to get some of these sets. You know, if you look at it this way, let's say you spent $200 a month and you cut half of it out, and you kept half your services, half of it you didn't. You know, $100 a month buys you 2 or 3 complete series sets every month. By the end of the year, you got a massive stack of complete series sets that didn't cost you any more than what your digital services did, but you own them then. Then you can watch them from then on. And that seems to be something that a lot of people don't consider is you pay for all these different services all over the place, but in the end of the day, you don't own anything. That digital service shuts down, or that digital service doesn't have your show. That's it. You pay just to rent whatever they had at that time, and then it's gone. I'm not a big fan of rental. That's just not me. Each person has their own things that they look for out of it. I like knowing that I put my money to something that I own, and that it's mine. Do what's you, do what you're comfortable with, but that's how I do it, is I don't have digital services anymore. I stopped because I found that I can collect so many of my sets that I want to collect that are available across the world. Maybe not in the US. I found a lot of them were limited on what is available in the US, but they're all over. And this set specifically, which is very exciting, You do not need a region-free Blu-ray player. You pop this in, and I'm going to show you that as well. You pop this in a regular Blu-ray player, just like we were talking about the other day. You can put it in an Xbox Blu-ray player. You don't have to have any special region-free coding, nothing. It plays just as normal, no hitches, no glitches, straight in a regular Blu-ray player. The only thing you got to do, as I explained last time, the remote. You're going to want to go on there, and when the episode first starts, it will have German subtitles on the bottom, and you just click your subtitle button and turn it off. That's it. It plays in English. No issues there at all. So to give you an example, it is Dts Hd Master audio, which is very nice, but you do have to remember it's still 1.0 mono. So even though they supposedly upgraded it in English to Dts Master, it's clear, but it is 1.0 because of the time of the show, and you have to understand that they didn't have things like that back then. They didn't have 7.1 surround sound on TV and things like that, so it just wasn't filmed in that. So that is the only thing. They did upgrade the audio as good as they could. It's way better than on the DVDs. When you listen to the DVDs, a lot of the times they're muddy or muddled. Sometimes you can't hear clearly. This sounds crisp and clear. You do have to turn it up a little bit louder than normal. Just so that way, because it's 1.0, you're not going to have everything around you. But otherwise, it played incredibly well. It's 1080p high definition, 1.33, so it is actually still going to have your black bars on the sides because it was TV. But great show, great look, well done, complete series sets. You're not having to buy individual seasons. You buy it all as one package. You got it. You watch it when you want. So overall, I was very happy with the set. Out of all the sets I've gotten that I've collected, this one has been very, very enjoyable to watch. They did a phenomenal job with the remaster on it as well. And there are some of the shows, as you'll find, that we're going through, that some of them, the remasters were okay. I'll try to give you a reference. This one I would definitely give it an 8.5. It was really well done. The only thing why you say was a 1.5 stars taken off, well, mostly just because of the fact of that the front of it is in German. It doesn't have it in English, and obviously I would have rathered it to have it say Hogan's Heroes on the front. But those are nitpicking things here. So I'm trying not to be too nitpicky, because a lot of times we just need to be thankful that it does exist and we can own it. If you have questions, comments, please comment below. Ask me any questions. I'll try to reply to what I can. I do thank you again for joining me. If there's things you want to see that I'm not going over, please let me know and I'll try to do what I can. But we're going to continue down this journey. Thank you for joining me again today. Please like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this. Next video will be someplace else, and I'll try to vary it as we go along. But I appreciate you for coming along. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for your time today, and have a blessed day.